Hi, Katrina.
Hi. This is a great place to meet each other.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Did you ever imagine that the first time we're going to sit across each other and talk about each other's lives, it's going to be recorded?
No, I think next time someone asks me that, I will realize it's potentially can be very difficult, but I think it's a good place to get to know someone, I guess, on camera, sure.
Yeah. Should we start?
I think so.
We should play the...
Are you going first? Go
We
for it.
we actually have
Should
to
we do
just
it
press the
together?
play
All right.
button. Yeah. Okay.
Vicky, will you pick the first question?
Sure. I will start with family.
Your sister Isabel is also joining films. What advice would you give her as learnings from your past mistakes?
Mistakes! I just got that. Mistakes! So I think what I felt in the beginning that I was trying to do with her was kind of make her do everything that I had done. And I was trying to kind of advise her almost very similarly into all the things and all the routes that I had kind of taken in my life and thinking that, okay, this is, I don't even think I did it consciously, it just was happening.
The similar plan.
And then a similar plan, thinking, okay, this is the way, this is the kind of way that I know, and this is the way that, you know, I think will work for her to be successful. And then now she's been here for about, I think, 8 or 9 months. The best thing I can do for her as a sister is allow her to discover her own voice and allow her to discover who she is rather than trying to make her into, you know, a person who I think, you know, works for this industry or for any industry. Authenticity is always what works.
Always. She's shooting for a film right now?
No, she's just about completed a film, which she's...
She's already...
yeah, she's kind of just about in completion for a film she's done.
Wow.
So.
Best wishes to her.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm picking a question for you.
The general consensus seems to be that what works in your favor is your boy next door vibe, that you're approachable, reachable, and attainable. But as you become more successful, how do you continue to be these things?
I guess by not taking success to your head, to let that be a sinking feeling than a feeling that you get comfortable with. To be very honest, I know I've been able to be part of good films and films that have made me reach out to a wider audience. I still go to cafes and malls and restaurants and do the same things that I used to do a year back. So, and it's also sometimes you have to realize that all they want also is just a couple of seconds from your life. You know, all they ask for is a selfie. All they do is like pay like a compliment to you. That's all they do. And I guess I'll just lose myself if I lose all those things. You know, just that relatability, because that also I feel is an asset to me as an actor. You really need to have people around you who really kind of firstly know you for who you are, not the actor or not the professional side of you, but just who you are, and keep bringing you back to your reality. You know, sometimes it's just my mom who'll just see a certain change in the walk in one fine day, and no, she'll just be playing on her Sudoku in the newspaper, and she'll just be looking at me, staring at me, and she'll just be, "So theek hai, star ban gaya," and I'll be like, "Okay." So you know, so I just, it's also a lot to do with the people you're surrounded with, and just be focused on your work. That's it. You know, I am the same Vicky Kaushal that I was. It's just, okay, they just like me for my performances in the past few films, so they, you know, I'm getting all that love and affection, which I'm very grateful of. But I should just be, I mean, this is the time I know that I can't take things for granted.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the biggest mistake people do. They lose focus on what it was that was working for them.
And also there's this, you know, there's this beautiful poem called If by Rudyard Kipling.
Success and failure just the same.
Just the same. And just there's this beautiful word. He's called success and failure as imposters, which is so true.
Yeah.
Which is so true, you know. And if you learn how to treat both of them the same, that's the trick. So, and I genuinely try to do that. Try to treat success, or the times when I was genuinely just knocking around doors and just trying to meet people and asking for work.
But aren't those just such great times when you look back at them? Or do you find that...
It scares me.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does. It does. It makes me value my present even more. because that time actually it was fun. When I
That's
was
what-
doing that,
yeah, when you're doing
being
that,
a
you're
part
just
of that
free,
grind,
and
yeah, you're
there's-
just free, you're fearless, you're just like,
You're fearless because there's nothing to lose. You
there's
have nothing there to
lose,
lose.
you know,
That's
and you're
the part,
just you're just doing it for the love of what you want to do. And now it just, when you look back at it, it just makes you value this time even more, you know, and that's why you just don't end up taking it for granted.
I like what you said about your mom. I think she sounds like she's a very wise woman. And she checks you out and says, got my eye on you. That's important.
Okay, I'll pick up a question for you. Play.
Karan Johar recently declared that it's the age of the actor and not the age of the star anymore. You've been a star for more than a decade. What is your response to that?
I think it's always been the age of the actor. I think there is no such thing as a generic star. I genuinely feel that. No, I don't believe it's possible for any actor in the public persona to sustain for a very long period of time the public's interest unless they have been able to hold them by the craft that they are doing.
Right.
Earlier, it was just you and your movies. The audience didn't see you on
Absolutely.
platforms. They saw you on Friday in the cinema.
Absolutely.
And that was, for me, the majority it's been that way for the majority of the films that I've done. Everyone values their time, and everyone, you know, kind of wants to come. They come to the cinema to be engaged or entertained or to feel a certain way. So if what you're doing is holding them, then that means that they are connecting to something that you're saying. I think probably the best way for me to put it is, beyond the points a little bit like what you said, I don't really take it all too seriously.
Right.
I don't sit here and open a book and say, okay, now this is the age of the actor, and now people are doing these kind of roles, and now people are doing these kind of roles, and in the last X years, this is what I've done, and am I more of a popular star, or am I more of this, or am I...
Right.
I don't bifurcate it like that.
Yeah.
It's not my job to tell you what I am.
Right.
It's your job to see me and
As what I see
decide
as.
what I do for you.
Correct.
I think that you just can't take all the responsibility, the credit, the pressure, the acknowledgement, and think that it's all us that are doing it. So I don't get too particular into which tag and who's this star and who's a superstar, and at one point you're a superstar and now it's the age of this person, and oh my God, what will we do and where will, you know? Like I don't get into that. I just try and remain like, I think for you, you said it's your family that keep you grounded and you have those people around you who tell you that. I try and just keep coming back to where's my center and what's true for me, however I find that center for me, and see what is exciting to me at this point. There was a kind of a phase recently where I realized that in a particular genre, I was not happy when I was there anymore. And it was a space that I had done for a long time. And all of a sudden, I just kind of had this really overwhelming feeling that this particular kind of, projection, which is required for this genre, was not exciting to me anymore. And simply as basic as the fact that I've done it. I've done it now.
Right.
So now, for me, the only thing I'm trying to do is look for things that excite me.
Right.
After a certain amount of time, you've also
Correct.
done and you've seen many of the beats.
Right.
You've seen all the beats that are there. So now what's going to challenge you? And for me, I realized right now, I think it's the places where I feel that I'm learning something.
Wow.
Where I feel that I'm learning something new. Either the director is teaching me, or even if the director is just the person capturing it, it's the people I'm trying to gather around me who are working with me. Do they have something I can learn? Can they teach me something new? So that for me is how I've made this chapter in my life exciting for me, is by trying to see where can I change things up, where can I make it new for myself. And I feel if it's new for me and interesting for me, then the audience will continue with you on that journey.
How was it for you to kind of gauge that? Because that shift from knocking doors to this literally superstar that you became, and just that shift, how was that for you?
It's because it was so gradual, I think. It's exactly what you said. And there are a lot of people who are in our industry, who are my colleagues, that came in around the same time as me. And they came with that one big, grand launch film. And all the magazines said, next big thing, this thing. And you have those people. But for me, it wasn't like that. It was one smaller role in a film, then one small thing, then this, then that. For me, though, I do remember the first time that I had gotten like a lot of, you know, when you notice that people are speaking a lot of acknowledgement or praise about something, was a film called Namaste London.
Yes.
That was the first time that I think I felt that, oh, you know,
Yes.
oh, this is fun, this is nice. Of course, before that, there was some song which was very funny, but it became popular at that time, called Just Chill. So
Just
that
Chill.
song was popular.
You know, you talking about your songs reminds me of something. I was in an acting institute. This was back in 2009, second half of 2009, and one of our exercises was to look into the camera and dance on, as in like we had to express it to the camera and dance on Teri Aur.
Look into the camera.
And be all Teri Aur, Teri
Okay, so
Aur.
you're supposed to take the vibe of the song. And the camera's the girl, obviously.
Yeah,
It's
camera's
not
the
like
girl,
some
so that's the
role
POV
play.
of the girl, and then
Okay.
you have to act it out. So you talking about your songs just reminded me of that, because I have done that to a camera in that acting institute.
Okay, this is really funny. I'm just imagining all these poor students in that camera and following them. And what if so the guy is obviously portraying Akshay's part and the camera's the girl?
No, it was your interpretation or whatever you feel
It
like
was
doing.
your
It was
interpretation
also,
of the
It was
song.
also being
This is very interesting.
just free. Just it was like a movement thing,
It
and
was
also
like a
just
movement class.
Yeah, just like
So basically,
express.
one could say that in a small way, I've had a fairly large hand in helping you craft your skill.
I'm so thrilled
happy
to be
to know
sitting with
that.
my guru over here today.
Oh no. Okay.